Hey guys, I'm Jack.
I'm Grant.
And we're with Crossfit Above the Bar. Check us out at crossfitabovethebar.com. Follow us on our other videos. Today we're going to be showing you how to depressurize and recap a keg for strongman activities, strongman type workouts. First thing we're going to talk about is the different sizes in kegs that you can get. We have a large keg, which you can fill with water and it'll weigh approximately
150 pounds.
Then we have a medium-sized keg that we can take and also fill with water, and it will weigh approximately
90 pounds.
And then we have a smaller keg that we can take and fill with water also, and it will weigh approximately
60 pounds.
60 pounds. Awesome. So this gives us a lot of variation. Obviously, you can adjust that with the different amounts of water or other liquids to put into the kegs to get different weights. These kegs can be found at your local distillery or at your local liquor store. What we did is we called the local liquor store up and said, we would like to pay the deposit on some of your empty kegs, and they were happy to oblige us with that. The local price for what we paid was $50 per keg, and the same sizes, it did not matter. The tools that we're going to need today is a 2-inch pipe fitting plug. This can be found at your local piping supply company. This is going to be used to cap the keg afterwards. We're going to need probably two 1/8 inch screwdrivers. This is going to be used in also uncapping the keg. One large flathead screwdriver. This is going to be used for depressurizing, and a pair of needle nose pliers. All these are pretty much what you're going to need to do this. It's not really much of an exception on that. When depressurizing the keg, we have some safety concerns that we need to follow. Probably, first off, you want to probably move this outside. If it's done inside, you may get something that you're not really wanting to have on you all day long. Make sure you're not wearing the clothes that you want to wear for the rest of the day also.
So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go over how to depressurize and actually take out the center part of the keg. So the first thing that I'm going to need is actually my large flathead screwdriver. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to wedge the screwdriver in between the ball and this rubber part right here. I'm just going to cram that sucker down until I get a good gap in there. And what this is going to do is if there's any pressure in here, you'll hear a hiss or a psst sound. So what I want to do is I want to leave that screwdriver in there until I don't hear any kind of sound coming from this keg. And then leave it in there for a little bit longer, because once we get the centerpiece out, if there's any pressure left in there, once we turn it, that centerpiece will pop straight out, and not in a good way. So all I'm going to do is once it's depressurized, I'm going to take this sucker out. I'm going to need my 1/8 inch screwdriver, and I'm going to need my needle nose pliers. So for this, there's these two little inlets right here in this upper lip of the keg. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my flathead 1/8 inch screwdriver and actually just start working this inner ring right here away from this lip. So I'm just going to start prying it. And it might take you a couple tries to get this thing out. We've had some issues with actually our screwdrivers trying to hold up. If you could find a small chisel, it'll actually work better. So I'm going to start prying this sucker out. And once I can get it out far enough, so that starts popping up, what I want to do is I want to grab it with my pliers and just yank that sucker out. Alright, now that we actually got that ring out on the center part of the keg, what we're going to do is we're actually going to start removing the entire center piece, which isn't actually too hard. So all I'm going to do is a lot of times these can be moved really easily if you depressurize them all the way with your fingers or your pliers. All I'm going to do from here is I'm going to lift up, and I'm going to turn it, and literally that's all I have to do. This whole centerpiece now comes out. For the next part, I'm going to fill it with water. This one we actually already have filled with water, but we actually didn't have a wing nut pipe plug in it, so we're going to go ahead and do that right here. So I have a 2-inch wing nut pipe plug. And how do I know it's 2 inches? Well, 1, I could use a tape measure and actually measure it across. 2, I could Wikipedia it. Or 3, I could take this fit aid, which happens to be, because I'm a fit aid expert, no I'm not, happens to be exactly almost 2 inches in diameter, which is actually the same size as our little spout here on our keg. And if you happen to get the keg full and you drink its contents down entirely, before you actually try this, you also have the party aid, which is a new thing that we'll bring to you very soon. So for this, fill it up with water, gravel, whatever I want to do. I'm going to undo the wing nut just far enough so this thing is nice and loose. I'm going to place it in the center, and all I'm going to start doing is making sure that I just tighten down this wing nut. So I want to make sure that this guy right now, he can move. I'm going to start tightening him down. And what you'll notice is that now I can't move it as much. And I'm just going to keep going as far as I possibly can with this thing. And then I'm just going to keep testing it, pull up on it, make sure that that thing is secure. Now, the nice thing about the wing nuts and the bad thing about the wing nut pipe plugs is that they're really easy to put on, but they're also really easy to get off. So if you're going to be doing Strongman Keg stuff, you want to make sure that when you're using these before and after that you're tightening that wing nut back down. That way, mid-workout, if you drop a keg or if you get tired or whatever and you go to set that keg back down, that this thing doesn't pop out and you have nasty water spilling all over your gym. Other than that, that is all you got to do to take the center out of a keg and refinish it and fill it up with your weight.